All right, week 3, we're back. Hey, not a bad week, not the best week. Still winning though. 19 and 13 overall. I think it was 9 and 7 last week. So, a couple games down from the week before. The week before I went 10 and 6, and then now I went 9 and 7. Has some Had a lot of upsets. You had the Raiders upset Baltimore. You had the upset on Monday night with the Falcons and Eagles. But I also chose some upsets. I predicted that the Niners were in a trap game against Minnesota, so I give myself some credit for that. But yeah, I did have a couple bad picks on that, and the upsets got to me. But we're back. Doubleheader on Monday night this week. I'm not the biggest fan of that. We'll get into that. Anyways, Thursday night football. So far, I'm 1-1 on Thursday night. This one's a pretty good one. Jets home opener. New England is not a pushover. We've seen these first two games. They've been in close games. Jerry Mayo's doing a good job. They're a good defense. Their offense is where they need to improve. But this is the Jets home opener. Jets are a little overrated, but it's their home opener, so I'm going to give them the advantage Thursday night. And then we're going Giants, Cleveland. I called it that Cleveland was going to pull out a win. I don't know even know if that's an upset against Jacksonville. Maybe because it was in Jacksonville. I don't know. I just felt like they were going to have that bounce back win after getting their ass whooped to the Cowboys. But they're back at home. Giants are awful. I mean, they're just bad. We're going Cleveland here. Chicago, Indianapolis. Caleb Williams got his ass lit up. It was kind of, it got to the point where I was feeling bad. Like, I was like, oh my, they're just fucking throwing him around. It was just all out blitz after all out blitz. I think that's going to be the game plan against, especially a young QB. What can you do against the blitz? But I'm going to Indianapolis here. They had a rough loss to the Packers without Jordan Love. I'm going to Indianapolis at home. Houston and Minnesota. This one's actually a pretty good game. This may be another trap game. And like I said last week with the Niners going into Minnesota, that was a trap game. Jefferson is questionable, but I'm pretty sure he's going to play. Minnesota's offense has actually looked pretty good, and Brian Flores has that defense playing nice. Houston, and they're looking good on both sides of the ball. Man, this is a tough one. We're going to go back-to-back with Minnesota at home. They did it over the Niners. I think they get to do it over Houston. Don't want to... We're sticking with Minnesota on this one. And no, I'm not a Vikings fan. I just, they're a little underrated this year. Philly and New Orleans. I got to be honest. I'm going to sound like a hater. I think New Orleans is just going through, like... They might be running into some... I wouldn't put them... there's already some people saying that they're going to be a Super Bowl contender. I'm not gonna say that. They still got Derek Carr as their quarterback. I don't consider him a top 10 QB. Philly, man, that was a choke job Monday night. They're going on the road here against, they're a hot team. I will say New Orleans is a hot team. They're putting up points left and right. This is a good game. You might want to target the over if you're into betting like that. I'm gonna go Philly. Is this even an upset? Because Philly, it's not like Philly's a bad team, but I'm going Philly on the road here. I think they have a big bounce back. I think Saquon goes off this game, make up for his drop pass. Chargers and Pittsburgh. You got Harbaugh starting off 2-0. You got Pittsburgh playing great defense. Is this Pittsburgh's home opener? I think it is because they played in Atlanta, and then where did they play last week? Can't even fucking remember. Oh, Denver, and they beat them. I'm going Pittsburgh here. Chargers. Good start so far, but Pittsburgh's defense is great, and it's their home opener. Got to go with that trend, with the home opening trend. Denver and Tampa Bay. This is Tampa Bay. I'm not going to talk too much about that. I don't think Denver's good at all. Tampa Bay is, they went into Detroit last week, which I chose Detroit over them, and they beat them. A low-scoring game, 2016, but they beat them. Green Bay, Tennessee. Not seeing a lot out of Tennessee. Green Bay's missing Jordan Love. I know they won at home last week with Malik Willis. They still have Josh Jacobs. They still got all their young receivers. We're going to go with them on the road here. Carolina, Las Vegas. Carolina is probably the worst. Not even probably. They are the worst team in football. I'm gonna go Vegas here. Miami and Seattle. This is man. It's gonna be rough for Miami this year. It's gonna be a wasted year for Tyreek. I don't think Tua is coming back. He shouldn't come back. I mean, it's sad seeing what he's going through. We're gonna go Seattle though. We're going Seattle. McDonald has that team playing good. Detroit and Arizona. Arizona's offense, I mean, they're looking good. I said in the beginning of the year, they're going to have a really good offense, and they do. Detroit, I don't know. Are they taking a step back? I haven't really seen a lot from Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jameer Gibbs isn't taking that step that I thought he would. But at the end of the day, I think Detroit is the better team, and they're going, because they're an indoor team, they're going to another indoor stadium, so I don't think it's going to be that big of a drop-off for them. Besides, obviously, the crowd difference. But I'm going to go Detroit bounce back week. They're going to get the win on the road after losing that one at Tampa Bay. Baltimore and Dallas is a big game for both teams because Dallas got the shit beat out of them. They're always overrated every year. I don't think anyone can really argue that. Baltimore surprisingly 0-2. Big upset last week at home, losing to the Raiders. You could almost say this is a must-win game. More for Baltimore because Dallas will most likely click a lot faster than Baltimore, but Baltimore going down 0-3, and they're in a pretty tough division. I'm gonna go Baltimore on the road to get their first win. Derrick Henry probably 2-3 touchdowns because there's a lot of criticism of the usage for him, even though he has 2 touchdowns, one in each game this year. But I'm gonna go Baltimore to get out of that slump. Dallas has been bad at home the last 2 games. They got their ass whooped in the playoffs against Green Bay, and then they lose last week to Derek Carr. You paid Dak all that money to get outplayed by Derek Carr. Anyways, moving on. Niners, Rams, rivalry game, divisional game, man. It sucks to see the Rams lose. Cooper Kupp and Puka, I really wanted to see what they could do healthy in a full season. I'm going San Francisco. It's pretty much a home game for them. In LA because Niner fans travel, and neither the Rams or the Chargers have real fan bases in LA. It's always a road game for them, or when they play the Niners or the Raiders. We're going to San Francisco here, bounce back after losing. A lot of criticism going towards Brock Purdy. I'm not sure why. Kansas City and Atlanta. Now, the easy pick would be Kansas City. Right, they started off good. The Atlanta is riding high right now. They just went into Philly. I can't even name their stadium off the top of my head. They went in there on prime time and Monday night, and they won. Kirk Cousins showed why he got paid all that money in that last drive. I think they continue, and I think Atlanta wins this one, giving Kansas City their first loss. To the doubleheader on Monday night, I'm not a big fan of these because Monday night should be dedicated to one game. I don't want to have to flip through 2 games, even though I will. But still, it should just be one game. It's such a privilege to play on Monday night, and they take it away from these fan bases by giving them 2 games. I don't know. I'm not a big fan. Other people might disagree. Buffalo and Jacksonville. Buffalo looks good. I think they're looking a lot better than even I thought they would without Stephon Diggs. They're looking good. Josh Allen's MVP look, caliber playing in chorus. Jacksonville is on the they're about to go in 3 if they lose this one. I do think Buffalo is going to come on top on this one at home. Jacksonville, 0-3, which would be tough. And then Washington, Cincinnati. I'm going Cincinnati. It's like every year Cincinnati starts off slow and then they get into a rhythm and they shock people, and they're right there competing against the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl. But this is it. What is it? 19-13 so far. Not too bad. A lot more road teams, I think, this week than last week. Maybe. I don't know. But this is it.